Okay, so this is a bulky V-neck raglan cardigan. Let's go. In order to make this beautiful yarn into a beautiful cardigan, we're going to need 6 cakes. So run to your local craft store, Caron Cakes. You need 6 of the latte cakes called Lovely Layers. I'm using the one called Coconut Cream. We're going to start today with knitting the back of this sweater. So I'm going to set up for 41 left, 41 right. I'm using my ribber. You don't have a ribber, you will be using latch tool. I should be using tension 7 for the main body of this sweater. So for the ribbing section, I'm going to use tension 4. The back of the cardigan. One of the things I did tell you guys before is that there's more than one way to cast on for ribbing. And I couldn't show it to you in the regular videos because it's not in the manual, and we were sticking with the manual. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the Sandy Lightfoot method for casting on for a interesting finish or beginning of your knitwear. The first thing we do is we don't put up the ribber, we don't go to 1x1 ribbing. We actually do an E-wrap cast on. So I'm going to E-wrap 41 left, 41 right, and then we will come back. This is the final stretch. I'm going to try my best not to hit the camera with my head this time. Alright, we are now in. I'm going to grab my brushes. Alrighty. Lefty. Put in your weaving knobs or weaving brushes. You can also engage the rubber wheels for your on your sinker plate. I'm now going to go nice and slow. Tension 7. Right now we will switch it to tension 4 for the ribbing. Nice and slow. Okay, that's row 1. One more time. Okay. Now the fun begins. I am now going to move my ribber up and I'm going to transfer for 1x1 ribbing. Before I do the transfers, I am removing my brushes. Removing my sinker plate. Putting on my ribber connecting arm. Moving my tension to 4. 4. 4. 4. Connecting. Now transferring. That can just be held there. We're going to leave the first one on, so second one off. Actually, we are going to do one other change. We're going to rack all the way to the left. I'll explain why later. Actually, no, we don't have to rack for the back. So we'll go back to 3. I will explain the racking in the when we go to do the fronts. So I'm just going to move my camera a little bit. So yeah, we'll move 40 down. And then every second one down. Remember, you don't have any weight on this, so it's going to be easy and flowy. Make sure you move them down after you transfer. You got the idea. I'll come back when I'm on the other side. Okay, this is the last couple stitches. There is no fast way to do this. At least not with a bulky. Okay, so now I'm going to move my camera again so you can see the center of the mass, and we will put in the ripper comb. Okay, so now I've got to get this cast on comb or ripper comb through the beds and up. Now I can do it the easy way. One click. Put it through, underneath. Is this easier? I think so. I just have a hard time pulling this wire. I am going to put my yarn tail on the other side there. Okay, that just looks better. Try and make sure that you don't split the yarn. Come up in between. If you do split it, just wiggle the cast on comb a little bit. All right, now the fun. You just lift. Okay. Make sure that your little wire is not caught on your ribber. Sometimes that happens. You want your big barrel weights, 3 of them, 1 in the center, 1 around 40. And the other one at around 40. You do not count the circular knitting, the E-wrap and the 2 rows. Those are now your circular cast on, so you're now at 0, 0, 0. Bring up all of your ribber stitches. Bring forward all of your knit stitches. Move back anything that is not supposed to be in work. Now we will knit 10 rows and then we'll see how it looks. So we're at tension 4, 4. Everything's in normal knitting. Nothing's in part. Everything looks pretty good to me. Might be a little rough. There was almost no problem. It was smooth. So we'll go 10 rows. All right, let's feel from behind. Feels like I have a fairly reasonable amount of ribbing, but I'm going to put in an extra 5 rows. I want to make sure that I am ending on the left. So I'll put in 15 rows ribbing on my notes so that I will put 15 rows on all the other pieces. Okay, so now we are going to transfer all of the river stitches up onto the main bed. So basically the reverse of what we did the first time. We'll come back when I'm done that. Okay, we're at the last few stitches. Now we get to lower my river. I could actually remove my river at this point if I wanted to, but I don't. I'm also going to reset my tension to 7. Remove my connecting arm. See, I've caused myself a little issue. Resetting my row counters to 0, 0, 0. Taking a deep breath. Putting away my double-eye bodkin. I'm now going to knit to the armhole on this project. So here we go. Again, there's no special knitting required. If you wanted to knit this in a lace, then before you knit across this first row, you would put in your punch card, lock it in and knit across, and then you can do all of your transfers going this direction. I'm not putting any lace on this project. I'm just going to show you the basic V-neck cardigan with raglan sleeves. We are now going to knit another 90 rows before we do the armhole decrease. My color changer is grabbing my yarn, so I'm going to remove my color changer. Okay, so I have 88 more rows to go. I'm not going to torture you with 88 rows of knitting. I'm going to pause this until we get closer to the armhole. All right, we're at row 77. We have 14 more rows to go. My weights from the river have just touched the floor. So now I'm going to put on another cast on comb. Because this is so easy, I'm just going to use my extra long normal comb. Because we're not doing any ribbing, so it's not a big deal. I just slide it in, give it a wiggle, and it's connected. I'm now going to use 5 normal weights. And then I will take the barrel weights off. If you don't have 5 of these weights, then you can just use 2. Not a big deal. All right, I'm now going to remove the barrel weights. I'm now going to release it from the cast on comb. Trying not to break my nail. Now that the weight's off, it cinches right up. And you can't tell from here, but it looks amazing. Okay. I'm just going to put things out of my way so I don't end up kicking them. So we're going to continue with 14 more rows. Five more rows. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so now we have to get ready. We will be reducing this side of the work, and then we will knit across and reduce this side. So here we go. Row 91, we are reducing a whopping 3 stitches. Grabbing my favorite tool. We are just going to gate peg. This is under the arm. You won't see it. It doesn't have to be neat and tidy, but you do want it to be secure. So I should be at 38 right and 41 left. That is 38. Those go out of work. I'm now going to knit across and then reduce the other side. I am now going to be at 38 left and 38 right. Before I reduce this side, I have to unsecure this side. So I remove those from the gate pegs. And now I do the same bind off on this side. Behind the gate peg. That's 40. 39, 38. Pull it forward. Put those out of work. All right. every 2 rows I will reduce both sides 1 stitch. So 1. Okay, so this is where it starts. So I'm just going to use my 2-prong transfer, and I'm just going to transfer it 1 in, bring these forward, put that back. I'm going to release these, 2-prong transfer, 1 in, bring these forward, put that one back. Now it should be 2 rows. 1, 2. So this is how easy raglan is. It's either every row, 2nd row, or 3rd row, depending on how steep you want the raglan to be. And by using the 2-prong transfer tool, I am making less bulk on the edge of my knitting so that I can sew these together. It's pretty easy. So for the rest of this video, I'm not going to do any talking. I'm just going to play some nice pretty music, and you guys can just watch me work. 13 right. I'm still on my first cake. Okay, row 145. We're at 11 left, 11 right. 1, 2. Reducing again. 1. Oh. Okay, this is a special one, row 148. We are reducing again to 9 and 9. How did I miss 10 and 10? Uh-oh. Okay, so I have actually missed a reduction. My bad. So I'm at 10. Oh no, this one's at 9. Okay, so what happened was I probably left my, oh, yeah, I see. Okay, so I did a little mistake. I'm going to back this up and fix my mistake. Okay, so I accidentally left my one needle out. Not a big deal. I'm going to back it up and knit this row over. Okay, I'm re-knitting row 148. Now I'm reducing to 9 and 9. There's a lot of weight on this piece. I'm going to reduce the weight. Okay, so you just saw me reduce and reduce. So 9 and 9. This is row 148 going to row 149. We are now reducing one more time. To 8 and 8. Okay, looks pretty good. Before we go any further, we are going to place a yarn marker at center so that when we go to do the collar, we know exactly where it goes. So this is center. I like to put my yarn markers one row down from cast off. That way they don't get lost in the waste yarn. Okay. I am going to weigh it down a little bit though. This is our last row of knitting. This is row 150. Now it says we cast off. We are going to cast off on waste yarn and then we're going to latch tool the waste yarn off. So cut a tail. Switch yarns and take it off the machine. Okay, so I'm just going to latch tool it. I don't leave my waste yarn live because I have a tendency of losing it. There we go. Okay, so that's the back of our sweater. Let me take off the cast on comb and then you'll see what it looks like. All right, so this is where we cast it off. This is where we got to the armhole. This is our beautiful ribbing done in tension 4, 15 rows. It's nice and deep. So I think it looks pretty amazing. Next up, we're going to actually knit the sleeves, and then we will finish up with the fronts. As you can see, this was the easy part. Next up, we will do the right sleeve.